Hold on. 10 upcoming superhero games you shouldn't miss. I need to know.
Everybody's talking about superhero fatigue in the movie business, but over here in video game land, I don't think we're tired of the Caped Crusaders just yet. So today we got
Blade
10
game?
upcoming superhero games that you shouldn't miss. We're sticking with the officially announced ones, but even with that, there are a few things you may have forgotten about. We got a lot of cool superhero stuff, so let's get started off with number 10. A pretty recently announced superhero game is a Blade video game. Yes, Marvel's Blade was announced during last year's Game Awards, just with a very small tease. It's Blade getting a haircut in France, gearing up to fight vampires. That's frankly all we know, other than that it's being developed by Arcane, specifically Arcane Lyon. Now, if you don't know, Arcane is a development studio split up between places and different teams, and with Arcane Lyon, they are the folks that made Deathloop. So while yes, Arcane as a whole did have a miss pretty recently with Redfall, which I almost forgot about, at the very least, the studio as a whole are the people behind Deathloop, Prey, and of course the Dishonored games. But what we do know is that Marvel's Blade is actually going to be a narrative-driven, third-person action-adventure title. So if you don't know, all of Arcane's games have been first-person, almost kind of immersive sim-style games, like detailed, more nerdy first-person shooter.
I'm sorry, I'm taking third-person over first-person any day. I just like it better, and like, I don't know why. It just gives me more of a just a better aspect. I just have a better feeling when I play games like that.
Blade is definitely going to be a bit of a departure for them because they're going third person. And you know what? I think that's pretty sweet. I still don't think we have enough third-person games, and a lot of the times it feels like we end up getting a game that would have been really cool in third person, but then it ends up in first person. I'm looking at something like Cyberpunk. I just want to see my character more, and a character as cool as Blade I want to see all the time. At least we got a good look at what he's got going on in the trailer. Like they showed a little bit of him, so there's something to go on. It's definitely Arcane's art style, but it looks absolutely sweet. We don't know when this one is coming out. It is still probably very much in the works.
100%.
But
come on,
the big question is, I wonder if we're going to see this before we actually see that Blade movie that Marvel's been working on forever. It seems like Bethesda and Arcane here.
Wait, is that a movie? I thought it was going to be a show. It's going to be a movie? Okay, bet. I'm ready for Marvel, bro. I'm ready for all of it. The games, the movies. Come on, bring it all.
Much more than the MCU, believe it or not. Next up at number 9, something that came out of left field last year was the announcement of a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game, unlike any we've had previously. This one is going to be based on The Last Ronin. The Last Ronin, if you don't know, is a bit of a different turn for TMNT. Like, it's from the original creators, but it's a little bit more of a downer. It's a little more thoughtful, more graphic novel.
I'm saying, when that boy, I know what happened when that boy Mikey gets serious. Boy, it's something different. When you got them characters, when you got characters that when they start laughing, it's up. Then you got those characters, when they stop laughing, it's over, nigga.
Well, specifically because it's centered around one turtle in a kind of future crime-ridden New York City where the rest of the turtles are dead. They're out of the picture. It's a little vague as to which turtle this finally is, but he's out for revenge. And if you ask us, that idea, that concept just makes for a really cool video game because there's probably so much we're going to be able to do with combat and adventuring around this kind of different New York City that you usually see the Ninja Turtles in. This is published by THQ Nordic and developed by Black Forest Games. Black Forest Games is a European studio. They've been around for many years now. More recently, they worked on Destroy All Humans and Destroy All Humans 2 Reprobed, the remakes of the original game, which were pretty good. So this is definitely a THQ Nordic studio. Next, over at number 8, we have Marvel 1943, Rise of Hydra. This was shown a couple of years back, teased with a different title, but now it is a full-fledged thing, and we gotta look at it at a graphical showcase for NVIDIA, highlighting just an absolutely gorgeous narrative-driven action-adventure game. That's all we really know about it gameplay-wise, but a lot of the gameplay that we see here, apparently this is in-engine, which I still think is too good to be true, but like you have a real comic-accurate Captain America in World War II going on missions and getting entangled with Black Panther, but this isn't T'Challa or T'Chaka, it's actually T'Challa's grandfather, Azuri. And so they're in occupied France in World War II and dealing with like Wakandan spies and probably Hydra spies and intrigue, and I just really like what they have going on here. The presentation and stuff is cool. It's interesting. It feels different from Marvel stuff we've seen recently. This kind of straight up is reminding me of an Ed Brubaker comic, and that makes me happy. Oh, and also, like, I buried the lead here, but Amy Hennig is behind this game, the legendary game developer who spearheaded the Uncharted series, also Legacy of Kain, so she knows storytelling and cool stuff. So we're really excited to see what comes of this one. No release date yet, but at least now we're starting to get a glimpse of what this project really is. Next, over at number 7, we got something a bit different. It's called Capes. This is actually a turn-based superhero tactics game.
Apes?
You might be thinking like something like Midnight Suns recently, but this is a little bit different, both gameplay-wise, but also just what it is. You play as superheroes, but not licensed superheroes. These are created new superheroes that fit archetypes that we've seen before, but they are in a world that has already been taken over by the villains. The villains have won. So you're playing as superheroes trying to take back their world. And with that, we have flashy character reveals and like a cinematic trailer, but also
I hate those games that are
it does look like it has the potential to be a lot that fun. I thought with Midnight Suns, as much as I didn't like the card-based system, I thought the turn-based tactics worked in 2024. Next, over at number 6, we have Marvel's Iron Man. Yes, they're making an Iron Man game. You may have forgotten about this, but it was announced a few years back with EA and Motive behind the wheel. Motive, of course, is the EA studio that's been doing good stuff. They did Star Wars Squadrons, they did the Dead Space remake, and now they're on an Iron Man game. We haven't really seen anything of it other than like a reveal image of Iron Man himself, and he looks really cool. But as of right now, that's all we've got. We're probably going to be waiting a while for this one. Okay. Next, over at number 5, we have the long in the works The Wolf Among Us 2. This follow-up to one of my favorite Telltale games has been so long in the works. You know, with original Telltale as a sequel, then the newer reformed Telltale from the ashes of the old one, a Wonder Woman game. It's just called Wonder Woman right now, and that's all we really know. You may have forgotten about this one. It was announced quite a few years ago, but this is a Wonder Woman DC game from Monolith Productions. The people behind Shadow of War, Shadow of Mordor. Those were fantastic games, and it's kind of a cool fit.
We need a Flash game. You're giving Wonder Woman a game? That's so cool. Give us a Flash game, bro. No offense, but how many people do you hear Wonder Woman is my favorite superhero? Okay, then. We need a Flash game ASAP, bro. Like, come on, bro. Please.
Unfortunately, we haven't really seen much from this other than a reveal trailer that shows off a Diana, a Wonder Woman, and that you are going to be fighting to unite two worlds. So I assume like the world of the Amazons and then also just the real world. We also know that it is an open world action adventure game. That's how it was billed from the horse's
with
mouth
any superhero
directly.
game, like with these type of games, they have to be open world. Like just how Spider-Man and Batman and those games are, like it has to be.
We don't really know anything else. Are they going to use the Nemesis system like from Shadow of Mordor? We don't know. That would be cool. I'd be curious to see how they'd implement that. But I do think there is some. Down at number 3, we have Marvel Rivals. This is a hero shooter. It's a multiplayer, team-based PvP thing. It's a collaboration between Marvel and NetEase. So some of you might see this and roll your eyes, but I actually think it's a really good idea, especially with how Blizzard has really floundered with Overwatch 2. People are looking for something else, so it doesn't really feel like it's just a Me Too copycat game, because the thing that they're copycatting is kind of losing steam. It's pretty far along, and maybe you'll be checking it out soon. Now coming down to number 2, you may have missed this, but there is an Invincible game in the works. Yes, Robert Kirkman's famous
that'd be such a W game. That'd be fire. That's so
it's been blowing up for a while now. It's gotten a lot of things, but now it's getting a AAA video game experience. This was announced by Skybound, the publishers, and we don't really know too much about it, to be honest. I mean, like, we've gotten Invincible mobile games. Adam Eve actually got like a visual novel spin-off that was just interesting, but this is going for just like you playing as Mark, being invincible, doing the whole thing. Skybound has said that it is going to be focused around action. There is going to be gore, like has been heavily featured.
It has to be. You know, if they wanted to be anything like the show, bro, the show gory, bloody, messy,
appeal.
So
but that's all we really know as of right now. Apparently, they've been working on this for a minute, and we're really looking forward to seeing what can come of this, because I think Invincible and the world and the characters, even if it isn't focused around Mark, there's just a lot of cool stuff there. A lot of stuff they can work with these worlds, the villains, everything. There's a lot of potential for this one, so I'd say remember this one. Keep your eye on it. It doesn't have like a title or a release date or anything yet, but it's out there.
Okay, that's tough. That's tough.
Just where I'm at in life, like the people who are closest to me inspire me.
Now, finally, down at number 1, we have Marvel's Wolverine, or as a lot of people have been calling it,
Yes. I was hoping he was gonna say this. Bro, I need this Wolverine game back more than anybody else in their whole entire life, bro.
Insomniac's Wolverine. This is a big deal because it is the next collaboration between Insomniac Games, the first party Sony studio,
I remember this trailer,
and Marvel. Of course, they hit it really big making the Spider-Man games. 2018 Spider-Man, then Spider-Man Miles Morales.
They did an amazing job with those
Spider-Man
games.
2. But now they're changing directions towards a Wolverine game. Unfortunately, Insomniac was hit with like a brutal ransomware attack where a lot of early game stuff was put out on the internet. And so people have been able to get little glimpses of this game as a work in progress, and it kind of confirms what we did know about it. It's going to be a third-person action-adventure game where you're playing as Logan. What I'm really curious to see is like how far they push the gore, but also the storytelling. What are they going for here with this Wolverine? They have a way to really present a new Wolverine to the mainstream public, just like EA with the Iron Man game. Everybody knows Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. Not a lot of people know the Tony Stark comic Iron Man. And everybody knows Hugh Jackman Wolverine, but not everybody knows the comic book or cartoon Wolverine. So Insomniac can really do something a little different here, and hopefully just make it a lot of fun. That's what I want first and foremost. As a kid who loved Wolverine since the original X-Men animated series, I am looking forward to this one, as I'm sure many people are at this point. And believe it or not, I also got a bonus game for you, one that we couldn't squeeze in the main list. It's the just announced Batman Arkham Shadow.
Well, ironically, I'm playing Batman Arkham Knight right now.
It's not developed by Rocksteady, though, and it is a VR exclusive. It's from Camouflage, the developers of the Iron Man VR game, which we did it before you buy on. It's actually a pretty decent game, so we're curious to see what they can do with Batman. Batman's last VR game was pretty awesome, too. So yeah, it's not a full-fledged Arkham game that we all want, but this could be potentially a cool experience.
A VR?
Details are still slight.
Okay, the only thing about VR is VR gets old fast. Like, nobody even uses VR for real nowadays, like at all, like not even a little bit. You know what I'm saying? VR gets old very, very quickly. Like,
but we'll probably talk about it more soon. But those are 10 upcoming superhero games that you shouldn't miss. There was a lot we talked about today, so I definitely want to hear from you guys in the comments what you're thinking on any of these titles, expectations, hopes, dreams. Again, we're only talking about games that were officially announced, so let us know what you're thinking of these, what other superheroes you want to get video games. This could be fun. But if you like talking games with us every single day, clicking the like button helps us out. Thank you. And subscribing if you're new might be a good idea if you're looking for stuff to watch, because we put out videos every single day. But either...
Okay, that's what's up. But yeah, I'm excited for like a lot of those games or whatever, bro. You don't understand. Marvel is my life, dog. Like, I'm happy, I'm excited, I'm ready, and they need to hurry up. That's all I got to say.